Half of a century ago, Prince of Songkla University has been established during a challenging time for Thailand and mankind. While the world community is heading towards sustainable development in order to find solutions to the continuing problems of our time. Collaboration between ASEAN members has just started. Thailand is still reforming its economic structure on a foundation of innovation, technology and creativity. In accordance with our national strategy, the southern region of Thailand has been designated to be a base of green economy and a global tourist destination. These are the missions of Prince of Songkla University, the first university of the South, one of Thailand's research universities, and an internationally recognized source of higher education. Prince of Songkla University, one of the 5 leading higher education institutions of Thailand and a high-ranking university in Asia. With focus on an intensive promotion of research and development along with graduate studies in order to create new practical knowledge for the public, including innovations for enhanced quality of life, economy and environment. The locations of our 5 campuses are strategically placed on the Thai Peninsula, the center of ASEAN. Rich in various resources, cultures, wisdom and economic activities. Well equipped to identify and manage the serious issues that severely impact the quality of life, society, economy and the environment today. These issues pose an endless challenge to the researchers of Prince of Songkla University. Prince of Songkla University supports its researchers by providing assistance to the setup of research networks on several levels. Prince of Songkla University has supported 8 research institutes to focus on industrial economics, medical science and public health, natural resources and environment, social and cultural matters. In addition, 3 more research institutes are planned in order to support future economic development. We aim to be the leader of research in fields related to the potential of the southern region in order to create stable, wealthy and sustainable development by researching to increase value of resources on both global and local levels. At the same time, we are researching answers to climate change related issues. We develop technologies for the future. Innovations for energy. Knowledge-based enhancements to food security. Medical innovations to better the lives of people. All are supported by organizations that provide essential assistance throughout research process. Local economic growth is sustainably supported based on innovation and creativity. We create a mechanism of collaboration with the private sector to support the creation of innovations and products, as well as the sharing of knowledge with several sectors through various channels. The Modern Scientific Equipment Centre. Nearly 300 laboratories of universal standard. High-performance information technology and communication infrastructure. Prince of Songkla University also serves public benefit by seeking for solutions, improving the society and culture with knowledge. Whilst also transferring knowledge to people through various procedures and channels. All 5 campuses of Prince of Songkla University aim for creating a productive environment for researchers to facilitate their pursuit of knowledge and lifestyle. Our green campuses are surrounded by nature, convenience and safety, located among popular tourist attractions and modern transportation networks that provide easy connection to all other regions of the country. Several researchers of Prince of Songkla University have been recognized nationally and internationally for their outstanding research achievements. To face the challenges of modern times, our researchers are constantly searching for knowledge, creating innovations as they have been doing for decades. With a soul that is for the benefit of mankind, as advised by His Royal Highness Prince Mahidol Adulyadej, the Prince Father. As a research university that creates innovations and social improvements, Prince of Songkla University will continue this mission in order to provide better quality to the public today and in the future.
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to ASEAN Intervarsity Youth Competition 2022 or AIYC 2022 with the topic Youth Engagement towards SDGs or Sustainable Development Goals in the ASEAN Community, organized by Prince of Songkla University, PSU, Universitas Airlangga UNAIR, and University Utara Malaysia, UUM. And Laboratory Building, Faculty of Science, PSU Hajjai. Today is the second day, and as your MC, I am Assistant Professor Dr. Vipat Chuto from Faculty of Science, PSU Hajjai.
And I am G. Chakapan, a student from Faculty of Nursing, Prince of Songkla University, Hat Yai. The first activity today is invited talk, Empowering the Empower, enhancing the role of ASEAN youth towards achieving the SDG 14 and the blue economy, by Professor Dr. Muhammad Saqib bin Hamad, Director, ASEAN Institute of International Affairs and Diplomacy, AIIAD, University Utara Malaysia, UUM. Now, let us present a brief introduction for the speaker.
Since 2021, Professor Dr. Muhammad Saqib Ahmad has been the Director of ASEAN Institute of International Affairs and Diplomacy, or AIIAD, He is also an associate professor of the School of International Studies, or SOIS, University of Utara Malaysia, UUM, where he teaches international relations and international maritime politics and issues. Dr. Saki obtained his PhD degree in 2011 from the Australian National Centre for Ocean Resources and Security, or ANCORS, University of Wollongong, Australia, under the Malaysian Ministry of Higher Education, or MOHE, scholarship scheme. His PhD thesis presents an analysis of to what extent Malaysian laws, policies, and measures are consistent with the international legal and normative framework for responsible fisheries in the executive economic zone. He is also involved as a speaker capacity in various workshops and seminars on topics ranging from law of the sea, South China Sea disputes, and responsible fisheries to contemporary issues and challenges of international affairs. He has also been invited by various departments and faculties to give a talk on academic writing and citation, especially on coherent writing skills and APA reference format for both undergraduate and postgraduate students. Dr. Sagi's current research interests cover illegal, unreported, and unregulated, or IIU fishing, and the law of the sea, maritime policy, diplomacy practices in the context of African states. More recently, his research interests focus on the study of Malaysia's foreign policy posture in the South China Sea dispute and local community engagement in promoting and facilitating responsible fisheries with the focus on food security.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Professor Dr. Muhammad Saki bin Ahmad, Director, ASEAN Institute of International Affairs and Diplomacy, AIIAD, University Utara Malaysia, UUM, for the invited talk on the topic Empowering the Empower, Enhancing the Role of ASEAN Youth Towards Achieving the SDG 14 and the Blue Economy. Please welcome.
Assalamualaikum and very good morning, everyone. Thank you, Madam and Mr. Moderator, for your kind remarks and introduction of me. Can I see the screen, please? Thank you very much. Okay, I would like to convey my gratitude to the organizing committee for giving me the opportunity to deliver these presentations, and specifically, I will be discussing on how the ASEAN youth can play their parts in helping the authorities at regional and local levels to achieve not only the United Nations lead Sustainable Development Goal 14 or SDG 14, which focus on the conservation and sustainable use of the oceans, seas, and marine resources for sustainable development. I will also try to link the importance of SDG 14 with the promotions of so-called blue economy, which is quite related to the conservation and protections of marine environments that being promoted by the SDG 14. Next slide, please. In the context of Southeast Asian region and even the world, one cannot deny the significant contributions of the oceans and sea to the natural environment and humanity. The vast, announced or surrounding seas in the regions are home to the rich and diverse biodiversity of flora and fauna, as well as the importance to know that the compositions of tropical fish species in the South China Sea alone, for example, is estimated to be more than 3,365 species and 263 families under that species. So it is important to know that our surrounding seas, especially the South China Seas, are rich in diversity of marine species. These regional seas also form a part of a vast network of global oceans and seas that act as a climate and temperature controllers. Nearly 50% of the Earth's oxygen is produced from this marine area across the globe. And did you know that the seas and oceans are the largest carbon sink? No, I'm not referring to the kitchen sink at your own respective home. What I'm saying is that we are talking about the capability of the ocean and the sea to observe carbon dioxide in the atmosphere that are mostly emitted from industrial-based fossil fuel emissions. Next slide, please. Now, nowhere of this multiple blue economic sector is critically important to millions of communities living in the coastal areas in the Southeast Asian region than the marine capture fishery industries. And bear in mind also, one needs to remember that when I'm talking about blue economies, I'm talking about there are multiple sectors that involve the usage of marine environment as well as the marine resources. As you can see from my slides, there are multiple blue economy sectors that I'm showing right now. And among them is shipping, ports, fisheries, as well as offshore oil and gas mining activities. So these are some of the what we call blue economic sectors. And as I already mentioned just now, among these multiple blue economic sectors, one that is very important is the marine fisheries sectors, which is critically important to millions of communities living in the coastal areas in the South Asian region. Then what we say that not only in terms of so-called marine capture sectors, but also aquaculture. So these two sectors are critical as part of what we call a blue economy that would serve the interests of millions of people living in Southeast Asia. Next slide, please. As you can see from my slides, the fishing industry is not only a major source of livelihood, job opportunities, and food for individuals and communities, but also generates national revenue, foreign exchange earnings for the government. In many parts of the ASEAN countries, especially archipelagic nations such as Indonesia and the Philippines, the local coastal communities have shared traditional cultural and seafaring affiliations since immemorial time. So it is important to know that this part of the world in Southeast Asia, we do have a very strong cultures of maritime as well as heavy reliance on our surrounding oceans as well as coastal environments for the purpose of employment as well as for the purpose of getting what we call meeting the dietary protein food. Now, but the reality is that, next slide please, there's one issue here. Despite the profound contributions of regional seas to the natural environment and humankind, these vast maritime areas are under threat from various human-induced and climatic changes or challenges. The long-term viability of the global fisheries industry, especially among the ASEAN countries, is under a severe threat, given the depressing state of affairs of marine aquatic resources and ecosystems at this moment. Fish stocks are declining in most of the important fishing grounds, such as the Gulf of Thailand, the Malacca Straits, and Javanese Sea. A vast areas of marine habitats, such as coral reef and seagrass, have suffered damages and destructions from human activities and global warming. Multiple factors contribute to these conditions, such as a widespread practice of illegal, unreported, and unregulated IUU fishing, which can include the adoptions of destructive fishing methods such as fish bombing and cyanide fishing. So when we're talking about IUU fishing, it's not about illegal fishing, it also includes unregulated fishing activities. And one of the unregulated fishing activities that has been pervasive in this part of the world is what is so-called destructive fishing methods. such as the use of fish bombings as well as cyanide fishings. Other than that, there are also some of the so-called the economic impacts coming from IUU fishing. And if you're referring to Indonesia and Malaysia, these two countries are the ones who are suffering significant financial loss, especially Indonesia, which lost about nearly 20 billion US dollar worth of fish annually to IUU fishing, while Malaysia recorded a loss of about 6 billion US dollar annually. Besides IUU fishing, marine pollution incidents have become a common phenomenon, with extensive scientific evidence and report validating the deteriorating conditions of the water quality and marine habitats in the regional waters. Common types of marine pollution in this part of regions include oil spills and total suspended solid. Basically, we are talking about plastics, any hard materials that can be what we call, will always be constantly on the surface, and as well as some organic materials such as E. coli and chemicals. Yeah? Now, another alarming phenomena with negative impacts on humans, marine ecosystem and habitat is global warming and climate change. Many communities living in low-lying areas which extensively depended on marine resources for livelihood, food and employment are under threat by the rising of seawaters, intensify and prolonged typhoon or hurricanes, beach erosions, and coral bleaching. These problems reportedly are more prevailing in many small and often remote islands such as Indonesia as well as the Philippines. Regardless of all the challenges mentioned before, the actual and potential benefits and opportunities generated from the use of marine aquatic resources and the environment under the framework of blue economic sectors cannot be discounted. But these challenges have directly or indirectly affect or even undermine the long-term sustainability and robust growth of various blue economic sectors. A note of caution that I would like to emphasize here is that the marine fishery industry in ASEAN countries is on the verge of collapsing unless effective and meaningful conservation and management measures can halt not only the continuing decline of fish stocks, but also the degradations of marine habitats. Next slide, please. Now, the poor state of affairs of marine living resources and ecosystems in many parts of the world's oceans and seas have raised concern among the global and regional communities, especially with regards to the long-term viability of blue economic sectors. The issue is such concerns have become the catalyst that drove global communities to undertake initiatives through international and regional organizations to reverse these worrying trends with a specifically targeted year. The United Nations is one of the international organizations that took such initiative with the launching of the 17 SDGs in 2015. SDG 14, which is about life below waters in particular, directly deals with the sustainable use and conservation of aquatic resources and the environment. Since its inception, the United Nations has strongly pushed every society and government to fulfill the objective of this SDG. Next slide, please. Now, the introduction of SDG 14 to promote sustainable use of marine aquatic resources in some ways complements the efforts to implement the concept of what we call the blue economy. The blue economy is a macroeconomic concept promoting sustainable utilization of ocean resources and the environment while continuing to reap the benefits from such practices without compromising and destroying the marine ecosystem. It is a concept that necessitates changes in how we perceive, manage, govern, and utilize marine resources and coastal areas. This means the concept of developing maritime economic sector must go hand in hand with protecting marine ecosystem and habitat. Now, next slide, please. Now, there is, as today, I would like to highlight that the progress of accomplishing the SDG, unfortunately, are still lagging behind, as evident with the current poor status of marine aquatic ecosystem and resources worldwide. The prospect of attaining or SDG 14 in the foreseeable future seems to look grim. Hence, this raises a number of questions that need to be answered. Firstly, is the responsibility and burden of achieving SDG 14 must be borne exclusively by the government entities and international and regional institutions? Secondly, to what extent the ASEAN youth can play an important role in assisting the relevant authorities to achieve SDG 14? And lastly, what are the strategies and actions that youth can adopt to enhance its contributions and role on this matter? In answering these questions, I strongly believe that the youth should not be sidelined from participating in these global efforts to achieve SDG 14 as well as blue economy. The burden to protect the integrity of marine environment and aquatic resources should not be exclusively belong to the government or even private companies. The youth can be the catalyst and driver to innovative initiative or efforts and process for the protection and conservation of marine ecosystem and resources from further experiencing catastrophe. Next slide, please. Herewith is herewith are the strategies to enhance the ASEAN youth contributions in the process of attaining SDG 14 and blue economy. As you can see in front of you, there are 4 of them. It's quite generic. I did not intend to be more specific, especially the one that can be related to what we call SDG 14 as well as blue economy. I feel that some of the suggestions that I'll be giving later on will be useful for you if, let's say, you want to apply it in the context of other SDG. Perhaps the first one is to seek knowledge. Bear in mind, SDG 14 or even other SDGs, basically the rest of the 16 SDGs, are highly technical. Hence, the need for you to be more conscious and knowledgeable about the topic that being covered in each individual SDG. It should be a learning process. It should be a journey that prepares you in terms of delivering, promoting the SDG that you are interested in. So it is important for you to learn about that particular specific fields that have been covered in that particular SDG. Hence, it is important for you to continue studying, to continue seek knowledge about that particular topics that you are interested in. I do not ask you to learn everything under the sun for all the 17 SDGs, but more importantly, which I'll be coming back later on to inform you why, is that the need for you to have a passion that whereby you can use that passion to drive you to acquire as much knowledge as possible when you want to discuss or promote that particular SDGs. Now, the second recommendation is to raise awareness. Your role is to create peers, friends that have the same interests as yours, especially when you want to talk about SDG or promoting certain SDG. Hence the need for you, since you are all university students, it is for you to take this opportunity during the period of your studies at the tertiary education, is for you to get involved with the local communities, especially the young generations. Go, organize, plan programs, activities that relate to SDGs, and deliver and share your knowledge with school children, especially those that close to your university. This is one of the ways for you to raise the profile of SDG that you want to promote. Third one is to enmesh in real life setting. What I'm trying to say here is that I would like to encourage you to get involved in NGOs, for example, that are directly basically involved in managing teams or even issues and problems that relate to SDG. The reason why I request you to get involved in these NGOs or even in your local associations or local communities is for you to get some form of what we call a real-time experience. It is, yes, I did mention just now, for you to learn or to gain that knowledge or learn the theory, but in the end, you still have to apply that theory. You still have to apply that knowledge. And no other better ways for you to have that kind of access to what we call applications of your knowledge and theory that you have learned in an organizations that are directly involved in solving the problems or issues and challenges that we mentioned in the SDG. The first one, start with the small steps. What does it mean? It means that you have to start even when you do not have access to facilities, even you don't have the opportunity to participate in NGOs. This is something about your lifestyle. If let's say you are promoter of SDG 14, we are talking about conservation and sustainable utilizations of marine resources and ecosystems. Okay, one of the issues that I did mention just now is about plastic pollution. So your task or your role, as already mentioned just now regarding to carry out a small steps, what I want you to do is to stop using plastics. That's the simple thing. So if you want to buy or tapao food from the store, you can bring your own Tupperwares, for example, or maybe your own plastics. If you go to buy groceries, bring your own hand luggage, maybe. Not hand luggage, that's too big, isn't it? Or bags, yeah? Carry-on bags. So you don't need to request the what we call the grocer owners or the waiter to entertain you and to provide you free plastics for you to bring back home. So start with the small steps, and we can do that. That's much more practical. At this moment, until you graduate, it's very hard and challenging for you to be directly involved in any association or any companies that relates to SDG. But at this moment, I suggest you to start with the small steps that I already mentioned or suggested just now. And last but not least, the one that I mentioned just now, be passionate in whatever you do. The issue is that you don't want to show that you are saying that you have an artificial interest in promoting environmental agenda or protecting the environment and so forth for the sake of improving your CVs and so forth. Protecting the environment, protecting the ecosystems, especially marine fishery resources, for those who are interested, needs to be something that be accompanied by passions, high passions to protect the environment. So again, these are some of the recommendations that I mentioned just now that I believe that is much more practical and something that you can carry forward. Now, next please. So I would like to end my presentation by concluding that significant contributions of the ocean and sea to humanity as well as preservation of environment and ecological integrity cannot be overlooked. At this moment, the problem with our state of affairs of our marine fishery resources as well as ecosystems, they are all under threat from multiple factors. Not only coming from human activities, but also coming from the climate change. Another aspect that you have to remember is that the adoption of SDG 14 and blue economies is a testament of global community paradigms shift and efforts towards promoting societal and economic benefits acquired from the ocean and sea without jeopardizing marine environment and ecosystem. Regardless of not having any assigned administrative power, the young generations can still play their part to contribute to the process of achieving the SDG 14 and the goals of blue economy. So with that, I end my presentation and thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Professor Dr. Muhammad Saki bin Hamad, Director, ASEAN Institute of International Affairs and Diplomacy, AIIAD, University Utara Malaysia, UUM, for the invited talk on the topic Empowering the Empower, Enhancing the Role of ASEAN Youth Towards Achieving the SDG 14 and the Blue Economy. Thank you.
I think the topic is really very interesting and really meaningful. Okay, can you give big hand once again for the speaker? Thank you. Yes, and now it's your turn to respond. Okay, we would like to have the question. Okay, maybe you have some impressive things in your mind. Okay, yeah. So please raise your hand if you have a question. Okay, question please. It's a Q&A. We still have time. Okay, before we move on to the quiz. Okay, just raise your hand and then we are going to, move to you. Okay? All right? Okay, over there. Okay, all right. We have the question from the floor. Okay? Please introduce yourself and then ask the speaker. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Marsha Phoebe and I'm from Indonesia. I would like to ask about your talk regarding blue economy. So I've noticed that sometimes maritime security is a prerequisite towards the blue economy itself. So in your opinion, what are the intersections between ASEAN's conception of maritime security and blue economy? Thank you.
So thank you for that question. It's a very interesting question, actually. You are talking about the interrelationship between the importance of ensuring securities as well as the continuing using of the resources, is it? Am I clear on that question? Is that the question you asked? So just now you mentioned that the question that you posed to me is that you are talking about the relationship between ensuring security as well as the continuing using of that what's so-called marine resources. Okay. I agree with you in some ways that ensuring the securities of the people that using that particular oceans or sea is vital. The issues of piracy, for example, has been posed, or basically have posed so-called challenging in terms of managing the marine resources in the Malacca Straits. So we have been talking about way back in 1980s when the Gerakan Aceh Merdeka was still ongoing. There was significant number of cases of piracy in the Malacca Straits, and consequently it's also affect the shipping safety in the Malacca Straits, as well as the fishing activities. Both countries, Indonesia, Malaysia, and even Singapore, did a great job of doing what's so-called cooperation in terms of suppressing any piracy activities in those waters to let the shipping industry to be flourish in that straits. So I believe that despite the fact that when we're talking about blue economy, we are talking about the usage of the ocean resources and ensuring as well at the same time protecting the environment there, we cannot run away from the aspects of ensuring also the security in those areas. So I hope I'm answering your questions. So by giving examples, but would you like to elaborate more? Or maybe you have something else to ask me? Something that relate just now to your questions?
I think the answer is pretty sufficient, but if I may ask another question, is
yes, please.
that okay?
Yeah.
Okay. So I also noticed that I think there was a research that stated that maritime security is also part of the blue economy in certain sectors. So there are sectors within the blue economy that focuses on, I guess, security services or service provisions in that sense. I want to ask if you can elaborate a bit about that side of the blue economy.
Non-science? I'm sorry, because I can't hear you just now.
I'm so sorry, but within the blue economy itself,
Yes.
I think there are certain sectors in the blue economy that that encompasses maritime security,
Yes.
specifically security provisions. Can you please elaborate
Elaborate
more
Okay, sure.
about that? Thank
Yeah.
you. I'm so sorry.
I think you are related to the shipping sectors actually. Two things about the safety of ships. One is safety of the passengers. Second is the safety of the crew members who are operating that ships. Now, when I'm referring to the safety of passengers, there are international conventions such as SOLAS 1974 that require every individual ships with certain capacities to meet certain standards of safety. Right. Now, coming back again, what I mentioned just now about piracy, now that's another maritime security that is critical, especially in the Straits of Malacca, whereby shipping sectors or shipping industries must ensure the safety of their crew members. So that means that they have to be what we call fully equipped with necessary equipments as communication, radios and facilities in order, if let's say, if anything happens, when there is a hijack of ships, for example, or piracy occur, they can immediately contact the relevant authorities to seek help. So basically, I think I understand what you're referring just now in your questions. Security can be divided into, if you look into the angle of shipping sectors, shipping industry. So again, as I already mentioned just now, one for the safety of the passengers, another one is the safety of the crew members and the passengers. So again, bear in mind also, shipping industries must meet certain international standards to ensure the life of people or the life of people on board of that vessels. So that means that they need to meet certain requirements, such as installing life jackets, lifeboats, making sure that the integrity and the structure of the vessel is in order. So that means that every year they have to carry out what we call inspections on the structure of the vessels as well as the equipment on that vessels. So I think, yeah, I hope I answered your questions.
Thank you very much for the question and answer. I think we still have time for one more, okay? If you have any more questions, please raise your hand and then we are going to run to you, okay? Yeah. So as we can see, international cooperation and then also the safety, okay, in terms of shipping goods or people, really very important too, okay? And then thank you very much for pay attention and then, give the interest, for the youth in this occasion, okay? Next question, please.
Okay, good morning, sir, and good morning, everyone. I'm here to ask you and I want to ask your opinion about something happens in my country. So, about the blue economy, I think it's good for if everything good for economy, then everything else is no problem. So that happens in my country, in my region, which is I see in social media that advertising some places, the beautiful places that invite someone to tourism there. But in the comment section, there is so much someone says, don't expose it, leave it alone. If someone go there, if tourism go there, everyone will break this place, everyone will destroy that place. So what's your opinion about that thing that if we make some blue economy, which we upgrade and build something to invite tourism go there and they pay for the facilities, but I think there is no much room or someone concerned about the waste or the plastics. So there's so much in social medias too that upload and content about before, after. Before someone go there, it's so clean and so beautiful, but after tourism go there, it becomes dirty and everyone disappointed about that thing. So I want to ask your opinion about the blue economy, that so much profit and less about care the waste that. And second, I want to ask about your opinion, why is the government or the NGOs sometimes did not collaborating with the local people and their local wisdom to build their facilities? So I think it become opposing between government or NGOs between and their local people, also local wisdom. I think that's my question. Thank you.
Thank you for that wonderful question. It's a very relevant question, actually. I think for me to answer your first questions regarding the access of tourism or access of tourists to particular islands, isn't it? Yeah. I think once you need to remember that when we're talking about blue economies, we are talking about the concept whereby you can use the resources or environment, but at the same time, you cannot jeopardize it in terms of its long-term sustainability for future generations. In Ireland, it's much more easier to control the influx or the arrival of tourists. So the local government needs to have a very strong political will to regulate what are the things, what are the activities that tourists can do or cannot. And I think one of the ideas is for the local government to impose, for example, like surcharge. Yeah? So means that if you want to go to the islands, you have to pay a certain amount of money. And that money is not for profit-oriented or anything. Basically, that money will be used to, to manage the sewage systems, to clean up the beach, and so forth. That's one way to do it. The second one is to, I think I've read one of the articles regarding how the Kiribati government, one of the small Pacific Island nations, that require every tourist that arrive in Kiribati, they must sign a pledge saying that they will not do this and this and this, these some of the activities they will not do, and these some of the that are allowed to do. It's more like a contract. So if you want to use and to enjoy our beautiness of our island, please sign these contracts, or else you will get fined. And again, that fine is not being used as a profit-oriented motivation. Yeah, basically it's used to, to carry out the cleaning or the beautifying of the islands. So I think that's one way, one of the strategies that can be applied, especially small islands. Yeah. The second question is about what is it just now? It's not just island, just. Can I hear again? Can you repeat the question again just now?
My question number second is, there is so much plan from the government and the NGOs that did not collaborating with local people and local wisdom in their plan of building their places. So it is become local wisdom and local people is opposing the government and the NGOs, or the NGOs and government opposing with the local person and local wisdom there. I think that's my question.
Okay, to answer that question, I think part of the problem is the objective and the goals does not, does not fuse. There's a contradictory in terms of serving the interests of local people and serving the interests of NGOs. So quite often when that happens, when there is a clash of ideas, strategies, or even objectives, it will not be what we call supportive, or it will not be gaining support from the local people, and vice versa. So this is one of the issues, actually. The need for you to really understand. If, let's say, one day you become an NGO, so when you want to enter a certain islands or certain local areas, it is for you to make sure that you understand the sentiments and the needs and wants of the local peoples. What do they need? So your task is basically to facilitate projects that can eventually serve their interests, not your interests. So quite often, many of the NGOs learn their mistakes, actually. From there on, they've decided they need to get survey. They need to carry out survey as the local peoples. What do you need? What do you want me to help you? What are the things or matters that I can help you that can, fulfill your needs, right? So for examples, like they don't have schools, so they need schools. They need construction materials and so forth. Right? They don't need another resort, for example. They don't need another, for example, another buildings that does not relate to education. So again, understand and know the sentiments and the interests of and the needs of the local people first before you want to embark any projects. So too.
Okay, thank you very much. Actually, those are common issues that we have as well. Professor Saki, some interesting remarks here for all.
Thank you very much. This morning is very interesting topic when Dr. Saki told me that he's going to talk about the goal 14, which is actually my background on anything about aquatic. And also this question, the last question, is really add into it, because in the last 5 years, 6 or 5 years, I actually involved in the tourism sector as well. And you see, resources, and especially in the ocean, is a large, very large resource that we are really looking upon it. And the humanity really rely on it. And this is the art of compromising, using the natural resources, not just the ocean, in everything, forest, rivers, land, everything. How can we use it? By not destroying it. That is the things that we've been working on very hard. We are not really, we fail at the moment. Why? Because, you look at it at your point of view, you look at it at your point of view, and I look at it differently. And we never come to the conclusion that we actually look at the natural resources being there, sustainable, and at the same time, we could use that to feed our people, to be on earth, to be happy, to have a good life. I think it's a very difficult question and very hard that we have. This is more, in general, and coming from the heart is very important. When you look at things, you are not doing it because there's a rule there. Government said you can't do it, yeah. But it's come to you that I shouldn't do this. This is not right. We are waiting for that day to come, and actually a lot of responsibilities are lying on your shoulders, the youth one. Not saying that we are out of it, we're still here, but the future's in your hands. Thank you very much.
Thank you. All right.
And now was the invited talk on the topic empowering the enhancing the role of ASEAN youth towards achieving the SDG 14 and the blue economy by Professor Dr. Muhammad Saki bin Hamad, Director, ASEAN Institute of International Affairs and Diplomacy.
Okay, and can we take some time to arrange the stage a little, because we are going to have the prize, the souvenir giving ceremony นะฮะเดี๋ยวขอนักศึกษาช่วยจัดที่บนโต๊ะนิดนึงครับเอาโพเดียมลงข้างล่างนิดนึงนะครับนะฮะ yes right now okay ครับokay yes นะฮะ okay yes sir because we are going to have souvenir giving ceremony on stage okay yeah before we move on to ASEAN Quiz. Okay. Just one moment. And that was really very interesting, you know, I mean, I learned a lot, and then I just feel like we have common issue that we have to deal with it, and a lot of homework, a lot of work to do, okay? But it's really very creative, the way the process give us, okay? Just initiate us, you know, to move on, and then, you know, fight for blue economy, okay? The true blue economy for Thailand as well.
And also
Thank you
raise
very much.
awareness
Okay.
for us about the SDG
Yes,
14.
so for this thankful and memorable occasion, may I call upon Dr. Sumana Raparodgit, Dean of International College Hajai Campus, to present a token of appreciation to Professor Saki, the speaker. Big hand, please. Thank you very much, Dr. Sumana Raparodgit, Dean of the National College Hajai Campus, and Professor Dr. Muhammad Sagi bin Ahmad, Director, ASEAN Institute of International Affairs and Diplomacy, AIIAD.
Next is the pre-university level ASEAN Quiz. Is the news MC, Mr. Nicky Chonghan Lim, our student from Faculty of Law of PSU. Let us hand over our duty to him. Please kindly welcome to the next MC.
Big hand for next MC, please.
Thank you so much, Kun Supida and Dr. Pipat, for inviting me. And good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the most awaited final round of ASEAN Quiz competition in pre-university level. This competition will begin in a moment. Before we start, let me introduce myself. My name is Nicky Chonghan. I'm from Faculty of Law, Prince of Songkhla University, and it's my pleasure to be your moderator as a quiz master in this competition. First, without further ado, I would like to invite Dr. Sumana Raparodgit, Dean of Prince of Songkhla International College, Hat Yai Campus, to give the welcome speech to the contestant and the audience. Please welcome. I would like to invite Dr. Sumana Raparodgit, Dean of Prince of Songkhla International College, Hat Yai Campus, to give the welcome speech to the contestant and the audience.
Distinguished guests, contestants, students, ladies and gentlemen, it's my great pleasure and honor to welcome you all to the final round of the ASEAN Quiz for the pre-university level and the university level at the ASEAN Intervarsity Youth Competition 2022. First of all, please allow me to introduce our esteemed judges for the final round of the ASEAN Quiz. Kun Vitat Vacharobon, Senior Expert, Department of Trade Negotiations, Ministry of Commerce. Kun Tian Thong Prasan Panit, Secretary of the Department of Children and Youth, Ministry of Social Development and Human Security. And Assistant Professor Sutichai Ngam Chun Suwan, Dean Faculty of Law, Prince of Songkhla University. I'm very pleased to know that a large number of students are joining the competition for both the university level and university level. I firmly believe that one of the primary roles of a university is to provide and support relevant educational environments and activities for our students. It's our proud obligation to prepare these young citizens for their future roles in guiding and developing our region. This year, the ASEAN Quiz is designed to raise awareness in the ASEAN and Sustainable Development Goals. Among the ASEAN Youth Integrated Competition setting, I believe that ASEAN Intervarsity Youth 2022 is an important part of this endeavor. Functioning as a platform for students to serve as ASEAN citizens and helping them to gain an enhanced knowledge and understanding about ASEAN and its roles. Before I conclude my speech, I must remark that this event would not have been successful without the kind and generous support from our co-hosts, Universitas Erlangga, Indonesia, and University Utara, Malaysia. I must also thank to the contestants and the organizing committee who have made this occasion so memorable and rewarding. Lastly, I wish this competition will be fruitful with the knowledge and happiness. Thank you. ขอบคุณค่ะ
Thank you very much, Dr. Sumana Laparokit, for the warm welcome address. I appreciate all the participants for coming to Prince of Songkhla University and making it for the final round. Despite the distant pandemic, indeed the preliminary round was quite an intense competition. And so we believe that we have another intense yet exciting competition right now, right here. Are you excited? Yeah, I believe so. I'm really excited to see you all. Next, ladies and gentlemen, for the final round, we have 10 teams with 2 members, each representing from different countries and schools. Please stand up as I call out your school's name. Next, I request the competitors to take your respective seat following your team ID number. Start with PU1 on your left side, PU2, PU3, PU4, PU5, PU6, and the background we start on your right side, PU7, PU8, PU9, PU10. Okay. Team ID PU1 SMA Negari 4 Enggerang. Oh, sorry. Enggerang, right? Okay, please have a seat. Next, PU2 SMA Negeri 4 Enggerang. PU3 SMA Negeri 4 Enggerang. PU3. Mr. Audi Ariento. Okay, please have a seat. Okay, next, PU4 SMA Negeri 4 and Rekang. PU4, Mr. Farhan. PU5, SMA Negeri 4 and Rekang. Miss Noor. Have a seat. Next, PU6, SMA Negeri 4 and Rekang. Mr. Chandra. PU7, SMA Negeri 4 and Rekang. Miss Putri. Next, PU8, Ahmad Panit Dukun School. Miss Supakan. Next, PU9, Ahmad Panit Nukun School. Miss Pacharapon. Next, the last team, PU10 from Benjamin Rashutit School. Okay, all 10 teams are ready. In the meantime, I would like to introduce our panel judges for 2022 ASEAN Quiz competition. We are so glad and proud to have Kun Tian Thong Prasan Panit, currently a Secretary of the Department of Children and Youth, Ministry of Social Development and Human Security. She will be joining us online via Zoom. Good morning, Kun Tian Thong. Next, we have Kun Vitat Wacharobon. At the moment, he is the Assistant Director, General Department of Trade Negotiations, Ministry of Commerce. Lately, we have Kun Sutichai Ngam Chin Suwan, Prince of Songkhla University. And these are our judges for today. Before we proceed, I would like all the participants to look at the screen for the rules and regulation. Please pay attention to the details. Now we're ready for see the rules and regulation. Before we have a competition, in the final round. The staff will give the answer sheet for each team. Okay, everybody look at the screen for the rules and regulation. Please pay attention to the detail. Rule and regulation. Number one, we have 15 questions in total in front of multiple choice and short answer question. There are 12 multiple choice questions. Each correct answer will be given 1 point. There are 3 short answer questions. Each correct answer will be given a maximum of 3 points. The total points for the competition is 21 points. Number 2, the time limitations for each question is 30 seconds for multiple choice question and 60 seconds for short answer question. Number 3, the answer sheets and maker will be provided should write the letter of the correct answer for multiple choice questions, should write the answer clearly and with the correct spellings for short answer questions. Number 4, each question will be read twice by the quiz master, after which the quiz master will prompt you to start. And when the time is up, the quiz master will notify the teams. Number 5, after the end of each question, the staff will come and collect the answer sheet. Number 6, in case of a tie or have same points, there will be 3 questions asked via Kahoot to determine the highest score. I hope you are ready now to begin the competition. We'll start with a mock competition. Mock competition, please. Just for a trial. Okay, before we have the competition, don't forget to write down your team number and quiz number clearly. So now please write down your team number and quiz number clearly on the sheet answer. Now everybody done? Okay, every team have write down your number and quiz number clearly already. Next, we have a mock competition. Just for the trial, we have a mock trial competition with 1 question. There are no points for this question. Okay? Mock competition, please. we have a mock trial competition with one question. There are no points for this question. I remind you, they have no point in this question. Are you all ready for the quiz? Yes, all ready. Let's begin with the question. Example, how many days are there in 1 year? How many days are there in 1 year? Okay, and will be 30 seconds in multiple choice, and you write the answer on your sheet. Okay, 19, 18, 17. Please write the answer
10,
clearly.
9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Okay, time's up. The staff will collect your answer sheet. Okay. And this is a mock competition. Now let's move on to real quiz competition. I hope everyone is ready. I'm really excited to see you all. Okay, I remind you again, when time is up, put your pens down. Don't have to write it anymore. Put your hand down anyway when time is up. Next, let's move with the real quiz competition. First question, please. The first question is, which one of the following is not ASEAN dialogue partners? Which one of the following is not ASEAN dialogue partners? Go.
Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Time is up. Mic up. Next, I would like to invite Mr. Vitat Wacharobon to give the answer for this question.
Hello. Yes. Before to go to the answer, first of all, I would like to thank the Prince of Songkla University to invite me to come to this competition. This is my third year already, and I'm really happy to see all of the young generation to come here. I hope that you have great experiences in Hat Yai and also in Thailand. If you have a chance, don't miss the food. The food in Hat Yai is one of the best food in Thailand. You cannot miss. Okay, go to the answer. What is a dialogue partner? I start with this first. What is the dialogue partner of ASEAN? The dialogue partner of ASEAN is the country who want to have a close tie relationship with an ASEAN member state. Or in short, AMS, ASEAN member state, 10 countries. So this is the reason why we have a dialogue partner. The answer, who know the answer? Raise your hand, please. Raise your hand. You sure that you have a right answer? Okay. Tell me. Anyone hear that? Chile. This right is the correct answer. The ASEAN member state, maybe I will elaborate more. The ASEAN member state have the 11 country that are partner, including the Australia, Canada, China, European Union, India, Japan, New Zealand, Republic of Korea, the United Kingdom, and the United States. Who would like? Raise your hand again. I want to see. Congratulations for the right answer. Correct? No? Correct? Correct. P2 and P4. Only two teams? PU3. Well done. PU, yes, 9. Well done for all of you. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for the explanation. Okay, try your best. I give you support. We move on to the second question. Second question, please. Okay, the question is, which one is not related to ASEAN social-cultural community? Which one is not related to ASEAN social-cultural community? Your time starts now.
Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Time's up. Marker down. Okay. In this question, I would like to invite Ms. Thien Thong Prasan Phanit to give the answer for this question.
Okay. Thank you, Kun Mickey. Can you hear me right? Everybody. For the ASEAN social and development, gender, rights of women and children, rural development and poverty eradication, labor, civil service, environment, health, disaster management and humanitarian assistance, and finally, health. So I hope that your guys will Mickey.
Thank you so much, Ms. Tiantong, for your explanation. Okay, we have reached to the third question. Please check your team number and quiz number. Write down clearly before we move on to the third question. Now, the question is, which country is the last to join ASEAN? Which country is the last to join ASEAN? The clock runs now.
Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Time stop. Markers down. The staff collect the answer sheet. This question, I would like to invite Kun Sutichai Ngamshinsuwan to give the answer for this question.
So very good morning to all students. So what is the correct answer for this question? A, Cambodia, right? Okay. ASEAN was founded in 1967 with 5 founding members, right? Thailand, Indonesia, Singapore, Malaysia, and the Philippines. Brunei has joined ASEAN in 1984, and then Vietnam 1995, Laos and Myanmar 1997, and the last is Cambodia in 1999. Timor-Leste is now not ASEAN member, but Timor-Leste is the candidate to be the new member state maybe next year. Yeah. And Timor-Leste was recognized as an observer of the ASEAN. Yeah, the correct answer is A, Cambodia.
Thank you so much, Kun Sutichai Ngamshinsuwan, for your explanation. Now we have reached to fourth question. Check your team number and quiz number before answer the question. The question is, what is the main objective of ASEAN Trade in Goods Agreement? What is the main objective of ASEAN Trade in Goods Agreement? Your time starts now.
Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Time is up. Marker down. And this question, I would like to invite Kun Vitat Wacharobon to give the answer for this question.
Yeah, thank you. Which team would like to answer this question? Which team? Okay. You raise your hand. Dida? Let me see first. Very close. Another team? Yes. See, let me have a look. Wow, too close. Another team? Yep. Hey, let me have a look. is just a bit far. Trade in goods, A is about the investment. So the answer is to establish an integrated market, or we can call it easily a single market and production base with a free flow of goods. The free flow of goods means we don't have the tariff duty among the ASEAN member states. It is just a free flow of goods. There is a reason why it become a single market and the free flow of goods. Yeah, so the answer is B. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Vitat Vacharobon, for your explanation. Oh, I can see some of you get the correct answer or wrong answer. Never mind. They have a lot of questions coming up. Try your best. We move to fifth question. Please check your team number and quiz number. The question is, what is not true about ASEAN flag? What is not true about ASEAN flag? Your time starts now.
Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Time's up. Markers down. In this question, I would like to invite Ms. Tiantong Prasan Panit to give the answer for this question.
Thank you.
What is not true about ASEAN flag? The answer is B. Okay. I would like to describe a little bit about the meaning of the ASEAN flag with your guys. The ASEAN flag is a symbol of member state unity and support the principles of the endeavors of ASEAN, and is a mean to promote greater ASEAN awareness and solidarity. The ASEAN flag represents a stable, peaceful, united, and dynamic ASEAN. The main colors of the flags are blue, red, white, and yellow. The blue represents peace and stability. The red represents courage and dynamism. The yellow symbolizes prosperity, and the white shows purity. As we are citizens of the ASEAN community, the ASEAN flag shall be treated with respect and shall not be subjected to indignity. Back to you, Mr. Mickey.
Thank you so much, Khun Tiantong Prasan Panit, for your explanation. Now the highest rank, we have 4 teams have same points. Okay, we move to 6th question. Which of the following is not a board strategy under the ASEAN Comprehensive Recovery Framework? Which of the following is not a board strategy under the ASEAN Comprehensive Recovery Framework? Your time starts now.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Time's
0.
up. Marker down. In this question, I would like to invite Kun Sutichai Ngam Chun Suwan to give the answer for this question.
Thank you, Kun Nikki. Do you know what is the ASEAN Comprehensive Recovery Framework? Do you know? The framework is the main document detailing ASEAN exit strategy from the COVID-19 pandemic. Okay, in this framework, there are 5 broad strategies. The first one is enhancing health system. The second one, okay, enhancing health system, A. Okay, A is the not correct answer, right? The second one, strengthening human security. The third one, accelerating inclusive digital transformation. The fourth one, maximizing the potential of intra-ASEAN market and broader economic integration. And the last one, advancing towards a more sustainable and resilient future. So, which of the following is not in this framework is CCAT, Advancing Partnership for Sustainability. That is the theme of ASEAN Chairmanship, as Thailand was the chair of ASEAN in 2019. So the correct answer is CCAT.
Thank you so much for your explanation. Any team got the correct answer right? Okay, we move on to the 7th question now. Please check your team number and quiz number. Next question is, which of the following areas were not pursued by Cambodia as part of priority economic deliverables during their ASEAN chairmanship in 2022? Again, which of the following areas were not pursued by Cambodia as part of priority economic deliverables during the ASEAN chairmanship in 2022? The clock runs now.
Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Time's up. Markers down. The staff will collect your answer sheet. Next, I'd like to invite Mr. Vitat Wacharobon to give the answer for this question.
Thank you. Normally, for the ASEAN meeting, we have a meeting every year, and we have the term of the chairmanship. This year is the Cambodia who is the chairmanship of the ASEAN meeting. So just maybe last week, for the ASEAN Economic Community, we still in the Siem Reap. Maybe my friend maybe come back today from Cambodia from the meeting. So normally the country as a chairmanship, usually they will pursue what they want to move the ASEAN when there is ASEAN chairmanship. So this question is quite, for me, it's quite hard for the high school student. I'm not quite sure that anyone want to answer this question. I told you that the Cambodian chairmanship pursue this year, pursue 19 19 priority economic deliverable is a lot. But the question just asked, which one not include in the 19 economic deliverable, priority economic deliverable? Anyone would like to try? Try to answer. B? Let me Z. Really close. Another one? Are there any different answer? Okay, please. A. Okay, A. It's very close. Anyone would like to try? Okay. D. Let me see. Oh, okay, D is very close. So the answer is the C cat, the ASEAN-China FTA upgrading. But actually there are a lot of the FTA upgrading in the 19 priority pursued by the Cambodia as the chairmanship of ASEAN. For example, ASEAN, Australia, and New Zealand Free Trade Agreement. So they put it in the 19, but for the ASEAN-China, the Cambodia didn't pursue to push on this issue. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much for your explanation. Some of you not answer the wrong question. You just close to the right answer, right? Okay, we move to 8th question. The question is, if I were a woman in a big business company facing the sexual harassment in the workplace, which SDGs goals is related to me? If I were a woman in a big business company facing the sexual harassment in the workplace, which SDGs goals related to me? Your time starts now.
Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Time's up. Put your pens down. The staff will collect your answer sheet. And the 8th answer, I'd like to invite Miss Thien Thong Prasan Phanit to give the answer.
Thank you, Kun Vicky. For this question, I think you can see the keyword is woman. Actually, woman is related to all goals in the SDG. But for the last sentence, it asks you that which SDG goals should be properly most related to this woman. The answer is A, gender equality. Actually, goal number 5 is focused on gender equality and empower all women. There are 9 targets under this goal, and I would like to highlight some targets, such as to end discrimination against women, to end all forms of violence and exploitation of women and girls, to value unpaid care and promote shared domestic responsibilities, to eliminate forced marriage and harmful practices, to ensure full participation in leadership and decision-making. Do you know women and girls are half of world populations, so when their lives are improved, the benefit reverberate across the society. So that's why gender equality is matter. Back to you, Kun Mickey.
Thank you very much
For the explanation. Oh, I can see some of you are smiling when teacher Tia Tong say the correct answer is A. Okay.
There are more questions coming out. The next question is 9th question. Clay. Check your number, team, and quiz number. The question is, among the following, who has not served as the Secretary General of ASEAN? Again, among the following, who has not served as the Secretary General of ASEAN? Your 30 seconds starts now.
Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Time's up. Markers down. In this question, I'd like to invite Kun Sutichai Ngam Chun Suwan to give the answer for this question.
Okay. What is your answer? The team PU4, what is your answer? B-boy, Ong Keng Yong from Singapore. He was the Secretary General of ASEAN from 2003. Now from 2003 to 2007. Another team, PU2, D-Doc, okay, Lê Lương Minh from Vietnam. He was the Secretary General from 2013 to 2017. Another team, want to try? PU10, what is your answer? B-boy, okay. Number C, cat, Dr. Sulin Pitsuwan. He was the Secretary General of ASEAN from Thailand from 2008 until 2012. So the correct answer is Lim Chok Seng. He is the Brunei politician and served as the second Minister of Foreign Affairs and Trade of Brunei Darussalam. The correct answer is A.
Thank you so much, Kun Sutichai. Okay, many teams got the correct answer. Try your best. We move to the 10th question. Check your team ID number and quiz number before answer the question. The question is, there are 23 areas of cooperation under the AEC Blueprint 2025, except there are 23 areas of cooperation under the AEC Blueprint 2025, except. Your time starts now.
Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Time's up. Markers down. In the 10th question, I'd like to invite Kun Vitat Wacharobon to give the answer.
Thank you. I hope that every team will have the correct answer on this. Even though you don't know the answer, but you can guess it easy. Because the AEC stands for ASEAN Economics Community. So for the ABCD, which one is not about the economics? D dog? D? Gender, logistic. You are correct. The correct answer is the choice number C for the question number 10. Actually, for the AEC Blueprint 2025, there is a huge area. Maybe I just give you some example. There are 23 areas of the cooperation. It's the goods, there is a trade facilitation, it's the custom, it's about the, you know the custom? It's about how to procedure, how to collect the tax with the standard and conformance between the member trading services, investment, finance, global value chain, competition policy, intellectual property, and consumer protection. This is just an example. It's a lot of the area of the cooperation under the AEC Blueprint 2025. Well, the correct answer is gender, because the gender is not about economics. It's about like the honorable guest have told you. Okay, good luck. I hope everybody have the correct answer in this question number 10. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Kun Vitat. Now your score is on my hand. The highest ranked team, they have same score, 5 team. They have 6 scores. That can be all of you here. Okay, fighting. We move to 11th question. Okay, check your number, check your quiz number. The question is, how many countries adopted the 2013 Agenda for Sustainable Development at the United Nations in 2015? How many countries adopt the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development at the United Nations in 2015? Your 30 seconds start now. Okay, time's up. Put your pens down. In this question, Kun Thien Thong Prasan Phanit will give the answer for this question.
Thank you, Kun Mickey. Actually, this is quite very, I think, easy question. The answer is D. There are 193 countries adopted the 2030 Agenda of SDGs in 70 United Nations General Assembly on 25th September 2015 in New York. So this means that all member states to the United Nations adopt this very important document. Back to you, Kun Mickey.
Thank you. Congratulations for the correct answer. I can see my right side, they say yes, yes, yes. Okay. We move to the 12th question. The next question, check your team number and quiz number. The question is, which ASEAN member state is the ASEAN coordinator for sustainable development cooperation? Which ASEAN member state is the ASEAN coordinator for sustainable development cooperation? Your time starts now.
Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Time stop. Markers down. Next, I'd like to invite Kun Sudhichai Ngamchil Suwan to give the answer for this question.
Okay. Thank you, Kun Nikki. What is your answer? Which state is the ASEAN coordinator for sustainable development cooperation? CCAT. Okay. That is the correct answer. Yeah. Thailand is the ASEAN coordinator for sustainable development cooperation since 2016. Okay. That is.
Thank you so much for your explanation. And next, we reach to 13th question. This question is objective test. Write the correct answer on your paper. It has 60 seconds to answer the question. There's not multiple choice anymore. Okay, in this question is, what does RCEP stand for? What does RCEP stand for? Your time starts now.
Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Time's up. Put your pens down. The staff will collect your answer sheet. In this question, Kun Vitat Vacharobon will answer the question.
Thank you. Let me give you an information about the ASEP. ASEP is a kind of free trade agreement, and this agreement is the biggest FTA agreement in the world. When in terms of their population and in terms of the GDP within the group of the ASEP. I think it should be not too hard for the student. Anybody can give the answer? What the ASEP stands for? I'm sorry because I got your question from already. Okay, I give you an answer. The ASEAN stands for Regional Comprehensive Economic Partnership. An FTA consists of 10 ASEAN member states, plus China, Japan, South Korea, New Zealand, and Australia. Don't worry about your question. Oh, not about your answer. Everybody get the same point for this question.
Thank you so much, Dr. Vitat. Everybody got the same point, right? Okay. Now we have two last questions for today. We reached to 14th question. Next question, please. Okay, short answer question again. Right, your correct answer. What is the goal of SDG 16? What is the goal of SDG 16? Your time starts now.
Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Time's up. Put your pens down. This question, I'd like to invite Kun Tian Thong Prasan Phanit to give the answer for this question.
Thank you very much, Kun Mickey. Okay. The SDG 16 is quite very important goals under the SDG as well. The answer is SDG 16 represents peace, justice, and strong institutions. Let me explain a little bit what does it mean. The goal of the SDG 16 focuses on promoting peaceful and inclusive society for sustainable development, providing access to justice for all, and building effective, accountable, and inclusive institutions at all levels. Thank you, Kun Mickey, back to you.
Thank you so much, Kun Tian Thong. Next, we reach to the last question of today. Next question, please. The 15th question. The question is, what is the theme of Cambodia's ASEAN Chairmanship in 2022? What is the theme of Cambodia's ASEAN Chairmanship in 2022? The clock runs now.
7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Time's up. Markers down. Wow, now every team then know your score ready? Okay. In this question, I like to invite Kun Sutichai Ngamchun Suwan to answer the question.
So, what is the theme of Cambodia Championship? Okay, that is the theme of Cambodian Championship is ASEAN ACT, addressing challenges together. That show the spirit of togetherness as one community and collective view to address and overcome challenges facing the region. So, let I have a look. Okay. Okay, there are some of you have a correct answer. Okay, back to the Mr. Nikki.
Thank you, Kun Sutichai Ngamchun Suwan. Okay, now the quiz competition is over. Every one of you has done your best. Yeah. Indeed, it was intense yet exciting. No doubt it was a neck-to-neck competition, and we would like to appreciate all of you for taking the courage to participate in the competition. And the result for today's competition will declare tomorrow on the 19th of September 2022 at BSC first floor. So please don't miss it out. May I please remind you again, we will officially announce the result tomorrow. There will be only 3 winners for the ASEAN Quiz competition. They will receive the award from the President of Prince of Songkla University, the PSU President Award. The winner first prize will be awarded with 10,000 baht. The second will be awarded with 7,000 baht. The third will be awarded with 4,000 baht. Ladies and gentlemen, no matter how the result is, but today I hope you have a memorable moment together. You are well done. Now the judges will checking your score. Okay, the competition is over. Now you can relax. Now you can relax to go to outside to have exercise or have to go to toilet, something, okay, and we will come back in this room soon. Okay, thank you so much for your attention.
Half of a century ago, Prince of Songkhla University has been established during a challenging time for Thailand and mankind. While the world community is heading towards sustainable development in order to find solutions to the continuing problems of our time. Collaboration between ASEAN members has just started. Thailand is still reforming its economic structure on a foundation of innovation, technology and creativity. In accordance with our national strategy, the southern region of Thailand has been designated to be a base of green economy and a global tourist destination. These are the missions of Prince of Songkhla University, the first university of the South, one of Thailand's research universities, and an internationally recognized source of higher education. Prince of Songkhla University, one of the 5 leading higher education institutions of Thailand and a high-ranking university in Asia. With focus on an intensive promotion of research and development along with graduate studies in order to create new practical knowledge for the public, including innovations for enhanced quality of life, economy and environment. The locations of our 5 campuses are strategically placed on the Thai Peninsula, the center of ASEAN. Rich in various resources, cultures, wisdom, and economic activities. Well equipped to identify and manage the serious issues that severely impact the quality of life, society, economy, and the environment today. These issues pose an endless challenge to the researchers of Prince of Songkhla University. Prince of Songkhla University supports its researchers by providing assistance to the setup of research networks on several levels. Prince of Songkhla University has supported 8 research institutes to focus on industrial economics, medical science and public health, natural resources and environment, social and cultural matters. In addition, 3 more research institutes are planned in order to support future economic development. We aim to be the leader of research in fields related to the potential of the southern region in order to create stable, wealthy and sustainable development by researching to increase value of resources on both global and local levels. At the same time, we are researching answers to climate change related issues. We develop technologies for the future. Innovations for energy. Knowledge-based enhancements to food security. Medical innovations to better the lives of people. All are supported by organizations that provide essential assistance throughout research process. Local economic growth is sustainably supported based on innovation and creativity. We create a mechanism of collaboration with the private sector to support the creation of innovations and products, as well as the sharing of knowledge with several sectors through various channels. The Modern Scientific Equipment Center, nearly 300 laboratories of universal standard, high-performance information technology and communication infrastructure. Prince of Songkla University also serves public benefit by seeking for solutions, improving the society and culture with knowledge. Whilst also transferring knowledge to people through various procedures and channels. All 5 campuses of Prince of Songkla University aim for creating a productive environment for researchers to facilitate their pursuit of knowledge and lifestyle. Our green campuses are surrounded by nature, convenience and safety, located among popular tourist attractions and modern transportation networks that provide easy connection to all other regions of the country. Several researchers of Prince of Songkla University have been recognized nationally and internationally for their outstanding research achievements. To face the challenges of modern times, our researchers are constantly searching for knowledge, creating innovations as they have been doing for decades. With a soul that is for the benefit of mankind, as advised by His Royal Highness Prince Mahidol Adulyadej, the Prince Father. As a research university that creates innovations and social improvements, Prince of Songkla University will continue this mission in order to provide better quality to the public today and in the future.
Welcome back again, ladies and gentlemen. Now, competitors, coming room right now. We have some special show in a moment. Okay, I remind you again, the result for today's competition will declare tomorrow on the 19th September 2022 at BSC first floor. So please don't miss it up. May I please remind you again, we will officially announce the result tomorrow. There will be only 3 winners for the ASEAN Quiz competition. They will receive the award from the President of Prince of Songkla University, the PSU President Award. The winner prize will be a white award with 10,000 baht. The second will be award with 7,000 baht. The third will be award with 4,000 baht. Ladies and gentlemen, next we have a special show from our competitor. You can see next to the stage that some of competitors have changed the clothes now. Okay. And so this brings to the end of the pre-university final ASEAN quiz session. Ladies and gentlemen, next we will have a special show from our competitor. I think everyone is curious about which team is going to present the show. Now they are ready to perform you. Are you ready? Please welcome wonderful Indonesia and Zaman Dance from SMA Negeri Umpat and Regang from South Sulawesi, Indonesia.
Indonesia is the most beautiful land in the universe. The land where we were born, the nation where we grew up. So many colors that live together in peace. With a million timeless treasures, with an abundance of natural wealth. Indonesia is not just wonderful. Indonesia is a wonderland.
Wow, what an amazing show. The music is so fun. I want to go to Indonesia to watch this show again. Thank you so much for a wonderful show. Now it's time to end our activity in this morning. I would like to thank the organizers, sponsor, judge, keynote speaker, and participants as well as the audience. We will be conducting more creative activities like this next year, so please keep in touch. We will keep your post. And I remind you again, we have a lunch box next to this room. You can have a lunch on the second floor at BSc Prince of Songkla University. So the result of this competition will be announced tomorrow at first floor BSc building. After you go out of this room, you pick it up your food boxes to have a lunch break at the second floor of BSc building. Until then, stay safe. Hope to see you again next year. And goodbye. สวัสดีครับ